Good morning, everyone. Tracy.bish here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in Central Victoria, Australia. Welcome to another Tracy's Sunday Challenge. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was snuggling with Riley, our German Shepherd, and yeah, I didn't get up early enough, really. So I do apologise. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great weekend. As you're popping on, please pop on and say hello. Let me know where you're watching from if you're new. Hi, Deborah. Hi Rachel, how are you? Oh, so we have a few on, which is fantastic. Okay, so June, I just want to talk about June for a little while. We've only got a few days left of June, which is really amazing. But throughout June, we've had a great promotion on with our kit collections. So you can purchase one and get the second one at 50% off, which is an amazing deal. Now these kits make beautiful cards and projects, but there's also a few extra supplies inside that you can create different cards or projects, and you'll get a stamp set, a ink block and an acrylic block to use on other cards as well. So what I've been trying to do this month is show you the kit and then give you an alternative. So it sort of gets your juices flowing. These kits are great for kids. They're great for the elderly. It's great for someone on a budget because they're a little bit more price budget. And it has everything included. So it has your ink blocks, your adhesives and things like that. So these are a great starting point if you're a beginner. So let me show you the kit that we're going to be playing with today, and I'll tell you our theme for this week. Alright, so it's the Christmas Whimsy card kit. So we did do Christmas last week, we're doing Christmas again. I'm super excited. Our mini catalogue starts in July, which will mean that I can start crafting it with Christmas and Halloween. So super excited for that. Hi Glenda, how are you? Hi Sean. Hi Judith, good morning everyone. So this is such a cute kit. It is, like it says, it is whimsical. There is two cards in the kit and you make 4 of each card. I think these cards are absolutely stunning. In the kit you will get full colour instructions. It tells you how to pop them all together, which they're gorgeous cards. I've actually got the 2 in here. So let me show you them up close. Hi Marion, how are you? See that little shimmer and shine in there with those gems in the background? They are also part of the kit. So that's the first card. This is the second card. So cute. Alrighty, so in the kit you will get a stamping spot of Night of Navy, some gorgeous gold twine. This is also very, very similar to the Simply Elegant twine. So if you would like to keep using this kit a little bit more, you could get some of this. There are little sparkle gems. These are in the Night of Navy colour. There's snowflakes as well as stars. And I didn't pre-stamp this stamp set, so let me see if I can show you very well. Merriest Christmas to you. These are little snowflakes. We've got Season's Greetings, a big star that is scattered stamp, and then we have Wishing You Peace, Joy and Love now and throughout the coming year. So I always say that these kit collections have the most gorgeous little stamp set in it. Not only does it have great images, but the sentiments are awesome as well. Okay, so acrylic block. There is a sticker sheet with some stars, and I'm actually using a piece of this sticker sheet on the card today. There is a pack of die cut labels, so ovals as well as tags. So this one would have been great for last week's challenge with the tags. You get the whole 8 envelopes, and these envelopes are gorgeous. They're gold foiled all the way around. How pretty is that? Very, very elegant. So, and you can stamp on these to pretty them up as well. There are 2 sheets of die cuts with all those images for the cards. So They just pop straight out, nice and easy, and then you'll get your card bases. So you'll get 4 each of those card bases. So super cute. So this is the kit. This is the Christmas Whimsy kit, available now, and you can also buy one and choose another one, or get 2 of these and get the second one half price. That is only available until the end of this month, so you really do need to get in and get that quick. Alright, so that's the kit. I'm leaving some of our stuff out. So the things that we are using are the 2 lots of embellishments and the stamp set. I'll also be using the Night of Navy ink, but I'm going to grab my large one there. I've got my Night of Navy stamping blends for one of the cards, and we're going to emboss in gold because we've got to do some heat embossing. It's just an absolute given. And then I have the Whimsy embossing folders. These are gorgeous. They come in a pine and then snowflakes. We're going to use the snowflakes on one of the cards today. So cute. Love the snowflakes. So this week's challenge is winter. We are in winter, and it's also a great time to sort of start doing a little bit of your Christmas crafting if you're inclined. If it's too early for you, that's fine. I understand that. That's why I left it at winter. So you can please yourself what you want to create. But let me show you the 2 cards that we're going to do today. There's this one here, and this one, I don't know how well that picks up, but can you see the embossed vellum in the background? It's super pretty in real life, and we've heat embossed as well in the gold. And I've used one of those little oval tags to decorate, as well as our twine. So that is the first card. Really, really simple and gorgeous. And then we have our second card here. You can see the gold stars. I have him heat embossed with gold stars. And then I've used a great technique with the stamping blends and using some alcohol. Now, if you've followed me for a little while, you've seen this technique before because I've done it a couple of times. I love it. I love this effect. And I thought this would make a gorgeous Christmas card. And this sentiment in this stamp set, it's a little hard to see. There we go. Wishing you peace, joy, and love now and throughout the coming year. I think this sentiment is gorgeous. So that is what we've gone with for this card. So super exciting. Let's get started because it's going to take us a little while to do the 2 cards. We're going to actually start with this one here. Now, all the measurements you can find over my blog. So there is a link to that blog post in the description of this video. So go and check that out if you would like to create these. You could also create these using another stamp set. So if you have something that's got the snowflakes in it, that would be easy enough to do as well. So I have a thick basic white card base. I also have a piece of the regular basic white, sorry, it used to be called Whisper White. And then I have a piece of our vellum. Now this one actually is the same size as our basic white piece, so we're going to layer the 2 together. But first off, we're actually going to run that through the embossing folder. Actually, no, we're going to emboss it first. Let's emboss it first. I honestly can't remember which one I did first, but I think we'll emboss first. And if it makes a mess, I'll know that I did it the other way around. So I did make these cards probably a month ago. Okay, so I have my Versamark ink. I have just used the embossing buddy over the vellum because I have been putting my fingers all over the vellum. The great thing is Stampin' Up have now brought out an embossing kit. So it has a tray that will hold all your powder. There is some brushes to get rid of that powder, and also the embossing tool, so the embossing buddy, sorry. So if you don't have one of those and you haven't been able to get them anywhere else, Stampin' Up now has an embossing kit, so which is fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink up those snowflakes there, and we're just going to randomly stamp around the vellum. And I will say the embossing, it looks absolutely gorgeous on this vellum. So I don't want to saturate too much. We're just adding sparkle around the vellum. Oh, it also has tweezers. Yes, that's right, Deborah. Thank you. Yeah, all the tools that you're going to need when you're heat embossing. Okay. I think that's a pretty good coverage. I'm pretty happy with that. Versamark's a clear sticky ink, but you can sort of see it on your cards and vellum, so it's not that you can't see it at all. It just can be a little bit harder to see. So now I've got my gold. This is from the Metallics embossing powders, if you're in need of the powder. I've rocked my stamp a little bit. I'm a bit of a heavy hand, so I do tend to rock my stamps a little. Just going to come in and get rid of some of that. Just like that, which is pretty easy to do. Highly recommend having a little brush. Okay, so we're going to bring in the heat tool. Now the heat tool has two settings, 1 and 2. When you're embossing on vellum, it's a great idea to use the first one. It's not as hot as the number 2. It does take that a little bit longer, but it's not going to warp your vellum as bad. So we're just going to wait until it's melts and it goes nice and shiny. And if you're a little bit worried about embossing, you can actually put the heat tool underneath, and that works as well. Sorry guys. So once the heat tool is actually warm enough, it doesn't take quite so long. It does take a few seconds for it to warm up to the temperature to be able to start melting that powder. So how's everyone's weekend been? Have you been busy? Have you been crafting? Or have you had some great activities going on? I did get a video done the other day, yesterday, and I was able to edit and do the voiceover, so that's really good. I'll upload that today. But yeah, I've got a few things on today. I think we're going to get rain as well, so I'll do a few things outside and then probably find some things to do later on. I've got a few ideas for cards for upcoming things, so maybe when it's raining I could probably come into my craft room and get some of those done. Marion's catching up. Glenda's making a couple of cards. She made a couple of cards yesterday. Awesome. And Deborah's making cards and crocheting. Fantastic. What are you crocheting, Deb? I'm not good at sewing or crocheting or knitting or anything like that, so we are getting there. I could probably put it on 2 and warp the vellum a little bit, but it's all right. Judith's making an album for the 100th birthday. Oh, awesome. Make sure you share it with us, Judith. All right, nearly done. Rachel spent yesterday on the couch. School holidays have started, so of course I'm sick. Oh no. Yeah, I think that's just the curse, isn't it? I will say my daughter had a week off the week before last, so she's a teacher as well, and she just wore herself completely out. So we're going to do this in 2 goes through because it doesn't quite go all the way through. Let me bring in my cut and emboss machine. Well, I hope you're feeling better soon. Is it the dreaded cold that's going around? Oh. Alright, I think this must be the 3D. Yep. I'll have to put on my embossing folders which one's a 3D. So with the 3D, you just run it through with plate 4. That is so gorgeous. I'll run it through again and then I'll show you the effect of it. It's really, really pretty. If you haven't embossed on vellum before, I really highly recommend it because it is gorgeous. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. Look at how pretty that is. So it gives it a really nice indent and really stands up too. If you use good quality vellum like Stampin' Up's, you'll get a great effect. Sometimes those cheaper vellums can actually crack in your vellum, so you just want to be careful of that one. Hi Chrissy, how are you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, so let's keep moving on. I'm going to grab out from that kit one of those little labels, and I'm going to stamp that with the Night of Navy ink. See, I didn't get everything out that I needed, but anyway, let's grab one of those out. And the stamp that we need is the Merry Christmas to You, which is a cute little sentiment. So Night of Navy ink. Do you guys use the stamping spots? I will admit I have a drawer that has a few in there from the kits and from different things, and I don't use them. I prefer my large ones. Chrissy's been isolating all week with COVID. Are you feeling better, Chrissy? Because, yeah, I think a lot of people right now are getting COVID with the flu, well, especially around here. So that has made them really sick. Okay, so we're going to actually attach our vellum to our basic white. And to do that, we're going to use our silicone mat and a stamping sponge. I think I've shown, if you have been watching me for a little while, I have shown this a few times. It's really a great way to secure vellum down without having it see through. Any sort of liquid and stuff will come through and see through, and doesn't look very nice. So sorry for that noise. My husband's getting ice out of our fridge for his smoothie, and yeah, he's just shut the door once he realised how much noise he was making. Okay, so you're just going to add a little bit of your liquid adhesive down onto your mat, picking that up with your sponge, and I've given it a good coverage, but you can't see it, and then we can stick that straight down onto our basic white. Our liquid glue has great hold on things, but by doing this method, you're not actually going to see it through onto the vellum. So it's a great technique to use. So there we go. And it just gives us that little bit of extra stability with our vellum. If we just pop the vellum down, well, we've popped it up, so we wouldn't be able to do that if we were just putting the vellum down without adding that matting piece behind it. All right, so we'll move this to the side for a minute. Let's grab some dimensionals. I think every dimensional piece that I've got there is just almost bones, so we might just have to cut some of the bones up a little bit. I want to make sure that it has a good coverage so it's not going to sag on your card. They tend to sag if they go through the mail and you don't have enough support on them. And we're just going to pop that straight down onto our card base. And there's a nice little layer all the way around our card. So I'm going to pop up our sentiment piece with more dimensionals. So a pretty easy card, but really packs a wow factor with both the vellum embossing as well as the heat embossing. And I'm just going to grab some of that gold twine, and I'm just using it from a pack, but there is the gold twine in the kit. Let's do a little bow. I'm so happy that A, they put this in the annual catalogue, and then B, they brought it back for another year, because gold and silver twine is a must for me for Christmas crafting. And yeah, Stampin' Up! Don't always do it, so it means that you have to go and resort to contraband, because I absolutely love gold and silver twine for Christmas crafting. Alright, so I have a mini glue dot here. I'm going to roll that a little bit. Now, a viewer said to me the other day in a comment that because it's cold, that's why our glue dots go hard, which I never thought of before. So if your glue dots are a little bit hard and they don't sort of bend as well as they used to, it's probably because they're cold. It's interesting. And there we have it. There is our first card. Now you can stamp the inside as well if you wish, but how gorgeous is that? Absolutely stunning. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to our second card, which is this one here. Lots of blues, lots of fun. We have a Night of Navy cardstock. Took me a minute to think about it. We also have a piece of basic white for the inside that's just regular cardstock. Again, we have basic white and our matting of our vellum, because you want to give that stability to your card. And then for our sentiment, I have a little piece of Night of Navy. Again, all the measurements are over my blog, so go and check those ones out. So we're going to start off with the vellum. This is a really fun technique. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it because it is a lot of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to come in with our combo Night of Navy, and we're just going to colour it in a little bit. So I'm actually going to start with, let's start with the light, and We're just colouring it in. You don't have to go all the way to the edge, doesn't matter. Cute. Alright, let's come in with our dark, and we're going to do the same thing. Just filling in some colours there. This goes really quick because it's on vellum, so it doesn't take much to colour. Alright. So as you can see, we've got just a nice little splattering of colour. Then we have this Digger's alcohol. It's isopropyl alcohol. You can find this at Bunnings here in Australia. I'm not sure where else you get it, probably Mitre 10. It is a spray bottle, but I'm actually not going to use the spray bottle. I'm going to use this end. And all I'm going to do is add little drops, and you'll see the effect that it gives. Now, you want some big drops, but you want some smaller drops as well. The smaller drops give really great detail. So try not to do too many big ones because it washes out that colour a little bit more. Add and all we're going to do is just going to go over all that vellum. And you can come back in with a little bit smaller drops in between. I did a Halloween card with this using, what was it? Pumpkin pie, basic black I think, and Granny Apple Green. Oh, it was so good. Looked really good. So it's like big bubbles. And I've probably done a few too bigger ones around the area, but so it's always going to look different every time you do it. Okay, and that's starting to run. So I'm going to bring in the heat tool and just dry that off. If you've got a bit more time, you can just leave that to dry either in the sun at a window or just on the side. It won't take long. Because it is alcohol and vellum, it really doesn't take long. So as you can see, they can look completely different each time you do it. It just depends on how you colour in, how much alcohol you pot down, and how big the drops are. So over here, the drops were fairly big. And I think the difference is this one on my sample, I did take a lot more time and effort. But because I'm live, I'm sort of in a bit of a hurry. I don't want you guys to be waiting around too long. So let's move that to the side just for a little minute while we get our sentiment going. Okay, so we have our Night of Navy piece. I'm just going to hit with the embossing buddy. The sentiment is that big sentiment, which is gorgeous. We're going to heat emboss with gold. So let's grab our Versamark out, ink that up. Hi Beverly, how are you? Are you feeling much better, Chrissy? That's awesome. Oh, Glenda keeps the ink spots for her grandkids to use. That is a fantastic idea. I don't have grandkids yet. Hopefully not for a little while. Marion said the spots are good for feathering the edges of cards and tags. That is a good idea too. Yes. All right. So I've just stamped in the Versamark. Let's add the gold embossing powder. Marion, I hope the mice in the kitchen is Billy and not mice. Glenda says, glue dots are a bit like us. Cold weather, we don't bend well. Yes, I agree. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you? Okay, so let's get the heat tool working out on number 2 now. Be a little bit faster. And I'll show you a great technique with heat embossing and our embossing buddy as well with this once we're done. Hi Kathy, how are you? So nice that you can be on with us. So that one's ready to go. As you can see, because it's a dark colour cardstock, it really shows up that powder, which I don't know how well it shows up there, but it's really bad on this. So I'm just going to grab, I always keep this microfiber rag in my craft room. I'm just going to go over that lightly, and that takes off all that excess powder. You won't see it then. So great little tip there. All right, so for underneath our sentiment there, you can see a little strip of gold. I've actually taken it from our sticker sheet. So, you know, we're just using the pieces that we would probably throw away. So this is always good to look at your kits and anything that you get with Stampin' Up, because they usually give you that little bit more. So even our die cuts that are done with gold, you can use those to die cut shapes or stamp something, punch something. So all I've done is grabbed that right up to where the stars are, and we can add that to the back of our little sentiment. And for that, I think the easiest thing to do is to probably use, I'm looking, I don't think I've got any left. So I need some tear and tape. You know, my roll was getting pretty low. So I'll just grab another one out of my drawer. I love tear and tape. So let's pop a strip along that bottom of our sentiment piece. Oh, Marion said, not my kitchen, yours. Yeah, that's a big mouse. Alright. Struggling to get that up. Let's use my scissors there. Perfect. Alright. So we want to attach that and be able to see it. And what I'm actually going to do, because I'm worried that that's going to fall off, it's on the very, very edge there. I'm actually just going to go over it again to secure it down. You don't have to, but I have a real phobia of sending or giving out cards and then falling apart. That's something that I'm really want to make sure doesn't happen. All right, so look at that. Bit of gold down the bottom, so cute, and that's just something that would have been thrown away. All right, so we can come back with our piece, and I'm going to hit this with the embossing buddy again, because we're going to heat emboss. I want to make sure that those powders don't stick to any of that might be still a little bit wet. Like we did hit it with the heat tool, but it should be fine. And we're going to grab out those stars. This is a bigger stamp with this one. And we're going to add gold stars all the way around. So the same as the other card, just a splattering here and there. Okay, that should be enough. Let's hope I haven't popped them over each other too much. Gonna bring in the gold powder again. Do you guys love heat embossing as much as I do? Heavy hand again, that's okay. I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, let's just get rid of some of that there. So don't do as I do. Don't be so heavy-handed. That should be fine. Alright, so let's use the number 1 again. It's going to take a little while, so stick with me, everyone. Actually, let's show you number 2, and we'll see how much it warps. Sometimes it warps more than others. But when you're using a good quality vellum like Stampin' Up's, there's less chance. It does give a special wow to cards, absolutely, Marion. It hooked me as soon as I'd done my first embossing. So if you guys are making these cards, make sure that you take your time in your stamping. I try to rush a little bit just because I don't like you guys waiting too long. But that is absolutely gorgeous. That looks so magical. Okay. So let's add our glue to the back here and stick it to our basic white cardstock to give it that extra support there. And you want to really make sure that you're adding the glue to the edges. And you will have to change out your sponge because this does get really tacky and gross. But I've found if you stick it in a container and only use it for this technique, it will last a little bit longer. Okay, so we've got enough glue there. This one here, our matting piece, has a bit of a border around it. So we'll see a nice little white border all the way around our image. Oh, thank you, Kathy. We actually made a card before this using this kit as well. So yeah, you have to go back and have a look. Alrighty. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in some of that gold twine and we're going to wrap it around our piece. And what I actually did, I did a cheat method. Rather than using a whole heap of twine, I doubled my twine over, just enough on either side. Okay, so we have our regular resident picking up his paper out the front, and Riley does not like his car. I think we sort of always catch him every week And then all we're going to do is we're going to add this to the back and tie it down with some tear and tape. So it's a great way of not using as much of your twine or your ribbon. It's a bit of a cheap method. So we have 2 there. Now she's locked in the shop. Oh my goodness. Give me a second, everyone. I'll just get her out of the shop. Dogs, eh? All right, and then we're going to pop this one up. And for this card, I actually had it a little bit higher. I've popped it sort of further down below, so you can choose where you want to pop it. But let's add some dimensionals. I love Night of Navy. And usually I really like silver with Night of Navy for Christmas cards. But this is absolutely gorgeous. Way more support there than I need, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. Glendy, you are so right. I think it's happened nearly every week lately. He's on my timing. Anyway, so pop that one down. And then what I did is I actually grabbed one of those gold stars from the kit and I popped it down on the sentiment. So let's do that as well. Oh. Very nice. All right, so let's pop this one up with more dimensionals and we can stick that on our card base and then we're going to stamp inside the card. So here's a newer sheet. Let's use that one. So that tear and tape will definitely keep our ribbon down without any issues. Make sure you use good strong adhesive if you use this technique, because you wouldn't want your ribbon coming out off the card. That'd look not good. Now I'm not worried about using too many dimensionals. I think dimensionals are really great value and you get to use the edges as well, so they're just awesome value. And a nice little peek of the Night of Navy on the background. All right, so inside our piece of basic white, I'm going to bring in our Night of Navy ink again. And I'm just going to stamp those stars. We don't need to clean off our stamp set because we did stamp with the Versamark before. It will not hurt our Night of Navy ink pad or anything like that having Versamark on it. Oh my goodness. Let's turn that over and I'll stamp on that side. Let me clean it. And I'll make sure I don't pop down quite so heavy. So I've got my Stampin' Scrub here. I've gone back to the Stampin' Scrub. I love it. You can get Stampin' Mist to pop down onto your Stampin' Scrub. One side has, let me bring it in and show you. One side has little raindrops and the other side has a sun. The raindrops one is where you put your Stampin' Mist. Then you're going to clean your stamp and then you dry it on the other side. These pads come out, or you can just run it under cold water to clean them, and do that, you know, every so often, depending on how often you use it, and it'll last and last. It's, I don't know, I've just come back to using it and I absolutely love it. So let's nice and lightly go into my ink pad. That might help as well. Again, heavy hand. Oh, look at that. Amazing. So much better than that. There we go. When I did classes, I used to say to my ladies, tap, 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 because they used to push down, and here I am doing it myself. Anyway, so we're going to pop this in with a little liquid glue. Just like this. And there's the card. So this is a gorgeous kit, the Christmas Whimsy kit. And if you like it, if you like any of the kits that I've used this month, get in and grab them now while you can get the second one at 50% off. So you can see the difference in colours, which is pretty cool. I think I only used the dark. Maybe I didn't use the light on this one. But anyway, let me show you the other card that we created as well. Super cute, with our embossing of the snowflakes in the background. Oh, there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. All right, and that is that Christmas Whimsy card kit, just for everyone who maybe missed that one. Really cute kit, 8 cards, 2 designs for each of the cards. So if you would like to join in this week's challenge, the theme is winter. So you can do Christmas, or you can do just winter, whatever you would like. Snowflakes, anything. You can do a beautiful scene as well. So would love if you come and joined in. It's always fun when we see new people join in, or it's always great to see what everyone comes up with as well. So even if you don't join in, make sure you head over to my Facebook page and have a look and see what everyone's creating. Leave them a comment, because they all love to hear what everyone thinks as well. If you're in need of any of the supplies that I've used today, there is a link to my shop in the description of this video. Please use this month's hostess code. I'll send you a handmade card as well as a bundle tutorial, which is always packed full of great ideas. And yeah, I would love to earn your business. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great Sunday. Hopefully, we've got beautiful sunshine out there now, but I know we've got rain coming, so I will enjoy the sunshine while it's here. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you all next week. All right, bye-bye. Thank you, Kathy.